Hi, I'm Christina.
I'm Maya from
Book
Book from Dreams, and welcome to a new video.
So, as you can see, we are continuing our Sarah Gailey reviews, finally, because we've been slacking off on them a lot this year, but we're trying to,
Finish them.
Thank you. I'm missing words today. I'm sorry. So, we read for this review When We Were Magic. I'm not sure which book of Sarah Gailey's that is, but it's a
one of their books.
One of their books, yes. So it is a YA novel about a group of friends. I think there's 6 of them, 6 girls.
That's right.
Yeah, I think so. It's
Alexis, Iris, Roja, Polly,
Marcelina,
and one more.
Myram,
yes, that is
okay.
6. All right.
So we have 6 girls that are
magical.
They have magic, and is a spoiler what happens in
no.
Okay,
that's
so
the first
basically,
page. That's the first sentence.
Yeah, so basically, one of them accidentally kills a guy.
A boy. They're in high school.
They're in high school. A boy at their prom, and kind of things develop from there.
Yes.
So.
I generally liked the book, but I had sort of this feeling that there was an antagonist missing throughout the book, because it turns out this book is basically a coming-of-age story, but with high school characters that have magic.
Yes.
So they go through some trials and tribulations in finding out if their friendship is strong enough to survive after they finish high school and go on to college, figuring out who they are, their family dynamics, and so on. And there's also like a magical murder thrown in there. And I was expecting to, all the time I was expecting for someone to go evil, turn evil, for some antagonist to come and mess up their plans and everything. And I was honestly kind of disappointed that it was basically them, like one of them doing the murder and then spending the rest of the book sort of getting rid of the body and the consequences of that.
Yep.
And then the end. And I was like, but where was this sort of conflict? It's like, was the main conflict whether our main character, one of the girls, will find love within one of the other girls, or was that, what was the sort of, like overarching like plot,
Yeah.
That was sort of my. I mean, I enjoyed the book. I read it in 2 sittings, and it was fast paced. It kept going, and so it was interesting. There was a good enough amount of angst when it comes to teenagery. There wasn't like lack of communication. Just when I was beginning to be annoyed that why don't they talk to each other like a group, because they sort of went off in like pairs and stuff, and they talked about like each other's but not together. When I was like, why don't you just come together and talk about it in the book? Then they came together and talked about everything that was happening. So I can't really complain about the lack of communication, because there was communication, but still I was like.
Yeah. But going on off of that, I think it was fun because I also liked it very much. I like that throughout the book, our main character often comments like, this is what a teenage girl or like character in a TV show or a movie would do, but like that's not what I am. This is not like, I felt like the author was trying to show that it's not very realistic what they show in shows and movies.
Yeah, but also,
as opposed to.
Yeah, I know. But I also thought that some of them were a bit more wise beyond the years than than a typical teenager.
My next sentence would have been like, like I love that, but at the same time it felt like a grown-up a bit writing the characters, because I don't feel like teenagers would delve that much into their feelings
and motivations and stuff.
Yeah,
because the whole thing, like basically the whole like aside of the, like if we like move the murder aside and not deal with that, like the main sort of thing that they were all wondering is why Alexis went to a prom with this boy that she murdered, I guess. Yes. And like, what was the motivation behind that? And throughout the book, like, why did you do that? Why did you do that? Because we all know you're in love with someone else. Like, why did you? This was like the main sort of like mystery also, besides of the murder thing. But, and when one of the friends, don't remember, one of the M's friends, when they confronted her and basically had this in-depth analysis of her actions and of her, like, it was just like, you are 18. Like, who knows an 18-year-old who is this wise and this knowledgeable of other people's motivations and actions? Like, I was like, ooh, that makes a lot of sense. Like, I'm not 18. And it was at that point was kind of like a bit weird. I know they're like different from other people, because they have magic and they have the secret that they've been keeping, and you know, it's formed a bond and everything. But still, it was a bit much, I have to say.
But maybe it was also the thing that kept you in the book.
Yeah,
because if they were typically presented as typical teenagers, we would be like, as we were like in the first book in Throne of Glass, oh my god, they're so annoying.
Yes,
and this was like,
I agree.
I think it was just like a great mix of teenagey stuff, like that angst about who you're in love with, what's happening with your family, and like a bit of that, like a bit of a more adult thinking. So it was like a nice line, at least for me, there was a nice line. I also like that the characters were so different.
Yes.
Like there was so much diversity, but it wasn't their only defining thing. It just formed a part of their personality.
Yes.
And
there wasn't like, that's the pale one, the gay one, the one.
Like
full
spectre. And there was like a spectre of things. Like I think there was like our main character. I think she just said she can define herself for the being as bisexual, but like she's kind of fluid at this point. She's not sure.
It also wasn't like the main
thing
story or point of her character.
But it was
more the fact that she was a murderer and you know, basically, how do you say that? Katsuzuku.
She gets away with it.
She gets away with it.
But like I'm saying, in a sense, like she had two dads. Like they were a gay couple. She had a younger brother. I don't know. I think one of the girls was like lived only with her uncle.
She lived with the other parents, but uncle was there for some reason.
Okay. Then we have a Muslim girl, which is also like just touched upon later,
right.
But like I liked like there was like a mix of people that were just, you know, their differences were mentioned, but they weren't like part of the plot line.
Yes.
And they just like their differences contributed actually to how their group dynamics worked and everything.
Yes. You want to talk about the murder? My one of my pet peeves about this is that there wasn't like an actual real world consequence. I mean, aside from the magical consequence, because they used magic to get rid of the body and it sort of backfired on them. But just the whole, like, she killed somebody. And like her reward. Basically, her consequence is kind of minor considered, if you consider all the other girls and their consequences of this magic that they did. And basically, she gets the girl at the end, and it's like, was this murder, like, it would have been kind of more interesting if she didn't kill the boy. And if there was like this coming of age story with her, with their magic, and there's like someone killed him, not them, but someone else, and then maybe, you know, they could have like, maybe, you know, discuss whether they should use their magic to help find the murderer and so on. But yeah, that was kind of like you killed somebody and you're there like mooning over this person. And and also the Gina thing. So there was one character that sort of finds out, I thought it was totally stupid. She finds out like that one of the girls is magic, and she came at it like very aggressively and like very like Draco Malfoy, you know. And it was like you know, I know your secret, and I'm like, what's the point of this? In the end, to find out, spoilers, that Gina herself has magic, and you know that she can be part of the group. So if you knew for real that they had magic, you heard them, you saw them, you whatever, can't you just come, oh, hello, I'm also like you, here's my magic and stuff, and like no, but you know, she went on this like she's like the reporter, whatever, she's a photographer, but definitely went very aggressively about it. I'm like, okay, so what's the point of this? Like, also like her talking to the cops and about, you know, like, anyway. But I enjoyed it. I was like, like while I was reading this, like we definitely like clunked out on Upright Women Wanted. Turns out that one is a dud.
Yeah.
But all
yeah.
the other stuff that we read by Sarah Gailey are pretty interesting. So
Yeah.
definitely. I moved away from the whole Kirsten Maguire thing. I'm like, okay, I'm reading Sarah Gailey.
They always have like very interesting ideas and like they develop them in very interesting ways and stuff. So
I guess we just got stuck on this Upright Women Wanted thing, you know.
Yeah.
Now that we've read 2 books that I enjoyed.
3. You also enjoyed
Hippo. I have to reread Hippo. I haven't read that in a while.
But I think you really liked it.
I thought it was fun. I'm gonna reread that and also the sequel because I didn't read the sequel to Hippo. But yeah, so far
it's like 3 out of 4.
Right. So cool.
So yeah.
All right. So that is it, right? Do we have something to add? Definitely. I mean, it's as we said, coming of age with fantasy elements like magic and stuff.
Oh, actually, one thing I found very interesting also is like the fact that they actually don't know what their magic is, and they're actually trying to figure out.
Oh yeah.
Like
how they're not all knowing about.
Knowing about it, because like I feel like everywhere I get, it's like they know what their magic is, and they. Like, okay, don't understand it completely, but it doesn't get so out of hand as it does here.
Yeah.
And, like, actually like that aspect of it, because it was like, oh my god, what the hell can happen if you are not careful? So, yeah, but that's basically it for me.
So, yeah, coming of age with fantasy elements, lots of inclusivity from the LGBTQ people. That's a weird thing to say. Different races, different religions. Community, yes. People. Oh my god, seriously. All right. Yeah, so that's it for our review. If you have read Almost Said Magic is for Liars, When We Were Magic by Sarah Gailey, please do share your thoughts down below in the comments. If you did a review, please link it so we can go check it out.
Yes. Please like, share, subscribe, press the bell button if you want to get notifications whenever we post new videos.
Check out some links in the description box, and thank you so much for watching. We'll see you in the next one.
Bye.
Bye.